All right, everyone, let's get started. Welcome in. Oops, something under my chair here. Welcome into the weekly reading. So we are tapping in to the week starting February 24th, which is through Sunday, March 2nd. So we are wrapping up the last week of February and then starting the beginning of March next weekend. So we'll take a look at what those energies are going to look like for the collective. This is a general read, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. When I connect, I ask for, I guess, information and guidance that can help, the most of people that are going to come across this message. So yeah, let's dive in. So we're moving into a new month. That's exciting. I don't know about you guys, but I felt it was a chaotic month, especially like emotionally, and just like dealing with people this month was seemed a bit triggering. So we'll kind of see how we flow, right? Surrender and flow. That seems to be the theme for since 2020. So we'll tap into the astrology for this week quick. We have a couple things I just want you guys to be aware of. I think the biggest one of the biggest, if not, is actually on, which was, I guess, Sunday where I am, but it was February 23rd, March. Whew, can I talk today? Mars finally went direct, station direct. So I feel like time is just weird lately, so I can't believe, like, I totally passed my mind, and then I was looking at the astrology and the planets alignment, and I was like, oh my god, like, Mars is going direct. Like, I thought that was going to be a while in the future yet, but we're here. We're finally here, so you can celebrate. That's a nice one to finally go direct. We've been in retrograde since December, so that's, again, what does that mean for you guys? Energy's going to start flowing easily, doors opening, feeling more motivated, taking action, feeling inspired to finally take action. So when we think of Mars, the planet, it is really the representation of the energy within us that calls us to then take action externally. So it is how we channel energy into the external world. So with, a direct, that's really what the focus is. Okay, now we're able to actually direct energy from us internally into the external world to create. And how do we do that? With the retrograde, the thing is, I know a lot of times we think of retrogrades as negative and like, oh, we like when planets go direct. And really that direct is really, like I said, that flow outward. But the retrogrades have to happen. And if we do not have both, it's just like duality. We don't create balance and harmony. So that retrograde calls us to really turn our energy inward, internally. And because of that, our energy slows down because we want to focus internally instead of externally. So really, naturally, we're less motivated because it's really asking us to stop, slow down, and to really look inwards and review where our energy is at. How are we expressing ourselves? What is our life force energy internally that we're using? Because that is the basis of what we're projecting out to manifest. So a big thing here is really looking at, are we being authentic? Are we harmonized internally? And it's finding safety back into the body. It's like grounding our body back into the world, the ethereal and the physical. Because, most of the times if we're in an imbalance, we're always looking for safety externally. Like we don't feel safe internally, so we're looking for people, places, things to help us feel safe. And Mars is actually asking us to look at those areas and say, you know, we need to find safety back in the body. And that's also helping us, like, how are we making decisions? How are we taking action in the world? So this is a huge informative time during a retrograde, which now looking back, you can kind of look back and see, okay, what new awareness do you have? How have you changed? Do you feel more in balance? Because it's vital now to have that harmonization, to now use it to express. So how do we move forward with new action, new awareness, and changes? So this is going to be a huge shift for cardinal signs and fixed signs. So that retrograde really impacted you guys. So the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And then the fixed are Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius. So you guys are going to feel more ease and a big lift there. Moving on, this one flew out, so I'm going to take it here. So we have on the 25th of February, Mercury conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Mercury feels a bit scatterbrained in Pisces, so that just be aware of that. And then Saturn, just from a watch caution, is that Saturn can feel a bit is like an isolated planet, so it can bring up a little bit of feeling disconnected, loneliness there. So it's time to ground your fantasies, or kind of your internal dream dialogue, your imagination into reality, and come a little bit more, you know, to compromise there. And maybe then you're able to ground in and plan a more long-term action plan that makes sense. That's not maybe based in a little bit of illusion or deception. So just wanted to call that out. And then the last but not least, on the 27th of February, we have the new moon in Pisces. So this is going to be amazing new moon, which new moons are there to ask us to connect to our dreams and creativity, which is amazing with Pisces. And what do we want to bring forth? What do we want to create and manifest in our lives? That's like that new moon energy. So it's really using our creativity and our deepest desires and dreams to really, again, look at what we want to experience in life. And then also, no planets are retrograde during this new moon. So this is going to be perfect energy of flow and ease and grace. And it's almost like that when no planets are retrograde, it's like a clear path, like a direct, clear path to the things we want, to the things we want to create, to be able to move forward without, you know, roadblocks or hurdles. So right now, amazing time. So just take advantage of it while we can, because there's going to be a planet sooner or later that's going to go retrograde, which I know Venus, I'll have to look. Venus is going retrograde shortly, sometime in March. So, all right, let's get going into the reading here. So that gives you a basis. It's kind of interesting to look at the astrology, because usually then the reading really aligns with exactly what the astrology is. So we had Journey come out. So you could be definitely planning a trip, taking a trip, or there's somewhere you are going. That's not where you usually are in March, or this week, actually. So it could be that you plan a trip, which we talked about, that is actually grounding your plans and taking action. Door to personal healing and happiness. I love that. I love the pictures in these, you know, some of these cards here. Look at that. It's like you're journeying through this doorway. And then yin and yang. There's that harmony. Okay, so this is the result of the retrograde. And now, you know, we're also trying to create harmony in our lives and integrate. So we need the duality. We need the bad. We need the good. We need the, you know, the differences, the hot and cold, the dark and night. And it's being able, that is true healing, if you want to, healing, and also happiness. It's not always trying to attain the state of like eternal happiness, because we live in an external physical reality, the third dimension, which the third dimension is based on duality. It's based on the physicality. And you really can't have this reality without that. So while we're in this reality, we have to be able to experience both. And it's really being able to, when you're not feeling grounded, or if you're feeling things, whether it's sadness, like all these things we consider negative, like grief, sadness, depression, loneliness, challenge. It's not that we want to get away from those. And that's the key thing. I think sometimes the illusion with the spiritual journey is, oh, we have to always stay on a high vibration, right? High vibration, keep a high vibe. But actually that's like a misdirection. Okay. So yes, high vibes are great. We don't always want to be in low vibe, but it's being able to feel and ground into the low vibes and really be able to sit and feel them, validate it, give it space, because it's an essential part of who we are. So the more we try to resist or push those parts away, we are actually disconnecting ourselves from internally. And then that manifests out in the external world as disconnection and disharmony. So I do feel like there's something going on to bring some sort of integration back into play. If the retrograde was really hard for you, this to me is a good indication, these cards, that you're going, the path ahead, which I think is starting this week, is going to bring about some movement and action and an opening of doors, a new door, a new opportunity that's going to bring in some sort of, again, the healing term and the happiness, to bring some sort of, if you felt a little imbalanced and more in the low vibe, I think it's going to kind of balance out starting this week. So again, if you've been trying to plan some trip, journey, move, or something, I do feel like it's going to come into the forefront this week of you really taking action on that. And then the Six of Wands flew out. So I do feel like you're moving into a new phase of more ease and grace, just like the planets. So really like that. All right, let's see what's going on in the unconscious. Queen of Wands, definitely feeling more inspired. And there's a big theme of creativity with Pisces, and also the planets going direct. Yeah, really focused on manifesting based on this being really connected, okay? Because the wands are about really connecting directly to source, to our higher self. And it's when we're truly in alignment and connected that way that we're getting the most information, wisdom, guidance, inspiration. And that's when you actually take action or create. When you're in alignment, those results are going to take you the farthest, and you're going to get the best results. If any of you listen to Teal Swan, she is a great kind of a spiritual, I don't know, speaker, but she says that too. Like, and I truly have seen the testing this out myself, is that if you don't feel aligned, or if you're feeling resistance in something, don't do it. So again, don't force yourself to try and be productive. Like, don't work on something if you're feeling like you have to force yourself. And some people would think, well, then you're never going to get anything done. And in reality, actually, you get more done. So you could be constantly forcing yourself to be productive and do all day. And guess what? You could, and you're not in alignment doing that. But if you're in alignment even one time that week, and you're producing or putting effort or action or creating, it is 100%, you are going to get more results from that, whatever, let's say 2 hours of hardcore, connected, action than you would spinning your wheels 8 hours a day for 5 days. So just a tip there. Knight of Coins, Two of Cups, and look at that, Ace of Wands. Love it. Yeah, things are going to be, this is looking good. Okay, so we have a lot of wands, wands energy. The Magician has his wand. So we got a lot of passion. We're feeling, again, more motivated to take action here. And I feel like you are moving towards, this is really referring to also yin and yang here. I feel like this Two of Cups is also referring to our internal space, feeling more connected and harmonious internally. And what's amazing is that's when you're going to actually create or attract connections or a relationship that's more in alignment with what you really want. And that's going to be where, you get that new beginning. That's really a connection that has all the things you're looking for, the chemistry, the attraction, the inspiration, the alignment with each other. So, I do feel like this Knight of Coins has been coming up a lot. I do feel like it's kind of representing this has been a long road for you. And you kind of just feel like, when is this going to happen? When is anything going to happen? When is this going to change? People just kind of plodding along, not feeling inspired, not feeling great. Just like, it's almost like that energy of like, just keep going, even though like I'm not feeling it. So it's kind of interesting that Knight of Coins keeps coming up. In all honesty, the Knight of Coins is like one of my least favorite cards in the deck. Because it's kind of that like, come on, God, for like something happened finally, or like this is taking forever type of energy. And someone who's kind of dragging their feet, because, and usually people who are like the Knight of Coins they have such fear and need to control that like that type of energy slows you down. Definitely that's like a perfectionist. Perfectionist, because everything has to be perfect at every step, everything they do. It just, again, it slows things down. You're not going to get anywhere fast. It's actually working as a detriment. And I guess I didn't see this Seven of Cups fly out. But I do feel like confusion is lifting. If you felt like really confused or unsure, indecisive, again, that's clearing. You're moving forward into more clarity. And like, again, things are going to be easier. So I, again, like this. Let's keep going. So we have the Page of Cups, Two of Swords, and the Three of Wands. I feel like, this is kind of indicating the here and now energy of like, you're still not, I think you're still in that confused state. So Mars is just stationing direct on the 23rd. So, again, this is going to lighten up. But like, I still feel like you're not sure, like you're still, if you need to make a decision about something or trying to plan, I think you're still kind of feeling a little stuck, like you haven't really taken action yet. There's this energy to waiting, like you're waiting for something to happen, or like waiting for, again, you to feel like, okay, I'm ready, or like, okay, I know now, like I know what to do. Like you've kind of been waiting for internally to feel differently. You could be waiting for, that could be reference to like more an emotional message. Like I just said, you're waiting for something inside of you to give you that like, okay, we're ready. Like, this is what you got to do. Maybe you're waiting on someone else. Maybe you're waiting on someone else to say something or like reach out to take action. So there could be that there with the Page of Cups. So let's keep going. We have the Tower. Tower, Page of Swords. So I do feel like finally out of nowhere, like maybe you're kind of been waiting for something, but you didn't expect it, but like a message comes in, or someone, you finally have a talk with someone about, like, maybe you're, again, long time future planning here. We talked about with the planets. Maybe it's finally like, what are we doing? Like, maybe you've been a little blocked and not sure of what your future is going to look like or where you're headed, and felt a little stuck in regards to growth in your life. But now it's almost like maybe also this could refer to a relationship that you felt a little stagnant, and like this person didn't want to grow with you, and you want to shake and move. Like you're ready to like do things, to get out there, to like whatever, move, or make plans, or like expand your life. And it's like you're waiting on this person to be like, you're unsure. And finally, there could be a talk here that comes out of nowhere, that not planned, with this Page of Swords. Six of Pentacles. For some of you specifically, this could be a discussion about money, about like, hey, like maybe you're footing the bill or paying for a lot, and there's something about an imbalance in who's paying for what. That could be something, if you're in a relationship right now, but it's kind of where you're at a place where you're unsure about this relationship, and like, is it really going to be something that you really want to continue to invest more time in? I think you're waiting. There could be a setting of expectations about like, hey, this is where I want to go. Like, this is what I want to do now. Like, I'm tired of sitting on the fence, and like, I'm ready to like get out in the world and create and experience some different things. And maybe this person doesn't want to, so you've kind of felt a little stuck. But there's definitely some unexpected kind of like, there's kind of been a theme about like clearing the air. Like, I think I had a reading, God, was it last week's reading was titled Clearing the Air? I think I just had one that was clearing the air. I feel like this is kind of extending into this week. There's still more like truth that needs to come out, some conversation that needs to happen about something. But with the Tower here, again, it's like not planned. It kind of happens unexpectedly. Maybe it could be like it catches you or the other person. Maybe you're ready to have a conversation. Look at that Death, Page of Wands, 3 pages, and then the Six of Cups. It could end in some sort of reconciliation. The Six of Cups can refer to like reconciling something. I feel like there's a reconciliation of an imbalance in general. So for some of you, it could be like that you work this out. But with the Death card, something definitely needs to end and change. Like this cannot move forward unless there's, and the Death card's not like a little change. Like this is a huge change. So if this relationship as a whole, if we're looking at some sort of connection here, there's something situation in your life that you just know like has to change. It can't keep going on the way it has been. Again, or it could refer to a relationship, a friendship, a job, some sort of situation you're in and how it is functioning. And it's finally hit like, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, with the Tower. It's like finally like you can't handle it, or someone can't handle it anymore. And it's finally like it comes out. So it's like, how does this need to change? But I think this is going to take internal shifts, right? Because change, any big change like that, it's because whatever energy we've been putting in or lack of, is not getting the results that we want. So we really need to look internally to say, how are we relating to this? How are we approaching this? What energy are we feeding into it? But with this page energy, I feel like it's a lack of what we're putting into something, right? We're not making it a priority. Maybe someone's kind of immature and doesn't have the ability, like the emotional, like maturity could be one here, but it could be, because there's kind of a mix here of swords, wands, cups. So it's, again, there's like an overall imbalance here with the Six of Pentacles. It's like what's being put in, we're not getting back what we need from this. So again, if it's a relationship, one person is kind of putting in more than they feel the other is, or what they're getting back. And it's kind of like, we can't keep kind of half-assing this situation, okay? Or approaching it. It's almost like we need a leader here, someone to lead, to say, hey, because we have pages here, just a bunch of pages. But we have the Queen down here. So this could, I feel like this is more you, but it's like you're finally taking the lead here to kind of, again, manifest something different in your life, to create change, because to me, I kind of feel, again, this Knight of Coins is like, this kind of like plotting energy of just like, we're moving forward, but yet you don't feel like it. Like we still feel like we're stuck in the same place. So it is really about like, hey, there is some aspect of this about expectations, but it's more around what you're expecting of yourself in your life, not necessarily what you're expecting of this person anymore. I feel like it's more about you now. Like, hey, I want more for myself. I want to grow. I'm ready to move out in the world in this direction. And I think there's that kind of truth coming out. What's the Tower? Yep. Again, this sort of energy, this like up and down, back and forth, again, keeps you in the same place. It's like you're moving, but you're not, right? Because instead of putting energy into like moving forward, there's this like, I'm taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back constantly. And I feel like the Tower needs to like clear that pattern. That's exactly what's going on here. This is about taking 2 steps forward and taking 2 steps back, but you're in this stuck pattern. So this is really, to me, we're talking about the collective here. So this is a real collective manifestation. So, we're seeing this from a broad perspective in general. Like, there's not big change happening, because it's like there's that narrative too, and that deception of like, oh, hey, we're making change, we're doing things differently, but it's very like crumbing you. So you're like focused on these little crumbs, but then there's a lot of shit happening in the back end that's also like blowing up. So that's also keeping you stuck. So again, I think that's hard. It's like there's a lot of feeling of like something's not right here. Like I'm not moving, like I'm not feeling growth, I'm not feeling fulfilled. And it's almost like this new awareness of this. But this is also happening in your individual lives with something specific. So what's the Six of... So we have 2 sixes here. I just realized that. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, King of Coins. Yeah, 5 of Cups. So this is going to hit someone in a way of, this is going to be hard for somebody to swallow, a hard pill to swallow. Because I think you're really like, I'm ready to move forward and potentially end the situation. And there could be a lot of stuff built up from the past in regards to this that haven't been dealt with. But I do feel like there's someone specifically connected to you that this is going to be a big hit for them. Potentially even feeling like they're going to be, again, take this pretty hard. So how does this, so we have these pages. What's with all the pages? 3 of Pentacles, endings and new beginnings. Yeah. So, you know, this page energy is really like this, maybe this chat or like offering of trying to work through this. Like, how do we work this out? But it could also be with the World and the Death card that you're kind of done trying to work this out with this person too. Like, we've been working on this for a long time and we're just can never, it's not producing any stability here. We're not finishing this project, you know, kind of a metaphor. We're not building upon this. We're not expanding. We're not growing this. We're not finishing something here. So I do feel like there is, again, this is just divine timing. And really, this is a big change. This is a big shift. Like I said, we can't keep going forward with this. This has to all get blown up and we have to build something new. I do feel like with the Ace of Cups, you know, there is a lot of love here, but also I feel like you're also trying to like clear your emotional cup as a metaphor. Like you're trying to, like all this shit that's been, to me, you've been kind of building up for a while, maybe with this situation. It's like a past of just stuff that's continuously happened. It's like those small things that we just, as they keep piling up, they become really big. And we've never really cleared that, right? It's like we can also say in a relationship, we haven't repaired any of that. We haven't reconciled that. And we haven't moved forward in a consistent way that's actually, you know, stopping the buildup from continuing to happen. So the Ace of Cups, to me, there is a new beginning that I feel like the universe is offering you that's more aligned with you emotionally. It's more fulfilling for you. And it's almost interesting that this person just cannot ever see that they've been given lots of chances and they have the ability, but they don't really, like they don't know how to, it's like they're emotionally stunted, but they're going to really be grief stricken if you're like, hey, this has got to end. But look at this. I like the 8 of Swords in reverse because it's time to get unstuck and like cut the blindfold, cut the ties that have bonded us to potentially each other or this situation, this job, and we're getting free. Interesting. So that was a lot. It usually is, but I want to help to give you as much as possible to give you some clarity here. So a lot to think about this week. Again, we're getting unstuck. We like this. We're getting clarity. We're taking action. So all that is good stuff. And we're moving forward to more personal healing and happiness. So, all right, everyone, I will leave you with that. You guys have a good week ahead. I'm, working on finishing up the March readings for watch. So watch for those. I'll probably start posting. I usually start posting those like towards the end of the month. So probably the end of this week, those will start coming out. So make sure to watch your March zodiac reading. Just as a reminder, if anyone's interested in a private individual reading, you can check my website in the link description below, and you can schedule something there with me. But yeah, have a good week. See you in the next reading.